Hey everyone, Angie here from Omega Star Pup Academy, and I am with Joe. Today I am at Mini Golden Paradise. And first of all, really excited to be here because starting a mega program in partnership with a new program or with a breeder is always so exciting to me, because the long-term effects of the puppies that you can raise and the abilities that they will have and the impressions later in life is just an honor to be part of. So today we are actually going to start a series, and I love to do these videos. We're going to start a series with this first litter. They are actually 12 days old. This happens to be Monty's litter, and you will see Mama coming in and out of the frame. She's moving around here, so she comes in, checks in, and then she wanders off. But we're going to actually go through the whole program week by week by week. So we will record these every week for the next 6 weeks. So you can see the progression of the puppies, what they get to go through, why we do it, also like what the education piece of it is, so you can follow along. So these puppies are, again, 12 days old. That means they started their beginning phase of the Omega program, which we call the puppy pod stage. Puppies are born as neonates versus primates. A primate would be like a horse, where they come out, eyes open, ears open, legs working. The opposite is the neonate, which a puppy is. Kittens are also that. Eyes and ears have to finish development outside the womb. So the first 2 weeks of that, they are continuing that growth and that development. But during those 2 weeks, we want to make sure that we're still very attentive to the education piece and the foundation we can lay. And so we use early neurological stimulation, that's called ENS for short. And we use early scent introduction, we call that ESI for short. We use those together. So we start at day 3 of life, and we will do it all the way to day 16. Generally by day 16, all puppies in the litter have eyes open. Ears are beginning to open up, so there's a little bit of a canal opening in the ears. And then they go kind of into a little holding pattern, or just a little holding phase, from day 17 to 21, which is what we start week 3, and that's when we start our next phase. Just lovely. So ENS is actually a holding pattern of 4 different holding patterns, and then we place their paw pads onto a cold surface. And so what we are doing is actually changing the blood flow in the body. So we will hold them upright for 5 seconds. And then we hold them down for 5 seconds. Whoa! Secured, obviously. Double secured is what I like to say. Hand on the back, hand on the belly. Then onto their back. And this is my favorite, because by this point at 12 weeks, they're generally pretty relaxed. So this particular position is definitely not natural. This is a learned comfort. And this little one just had a huge sigh. Super learned, super comfortable. So I generally will hold them a little bit longer than 5 seconds, just because I enjoy that. I think it's such a celebration. So at 5 days old, puppies are still very uncomfortable in that position. But by 7, 8, 9, you can start to see their bodies relax. So then we also stimulate the paw pads. So we take our fingers across the bottom here, separating those little paw pads, because they have sensation there. And we do all 4 feet. And then their little paw pads go onto a cold surface. So cold rag, ice pack, something that stimulates something colder than what they're used to. And then we grab our scent of the day. So our kit is made up of a variety of tins. We have some herbal scents. We have some natural things like soil, leather, rabbit fur. And today's scent is actually black tea. There's some some variances in how strong the scents are as well. So we're varying that so that there's some days that are more intense than others. So today is black tea. So we hold the puppy upright. I like to have the little back end just elevated slightly more than the head, so that naturally the head drops down into the tin. And I move the tin to their nose. Whoa, good job. So they're going to smell for 5 seconds, up to 30 seconds if they like it. And then that's it. And then we put the tin back on. Again, from the breeder standpoint, this is an opportunity to check over the puppy, check the rear canal, make sure everything's open, check hydration, check eyes, nose, ear formation, just make sure hydration is good, make sure everything feels good, and then they go back to their little nest with mom. So that really, at this stage, under 3 weeks, it is really no more than a minute, minute and a half per puppy. At day 10, I like to start trimming nails because their nails can cause a little bit of openings on mama's undercarriage. It can also cause a chance to scratch a litter mate. And so again, just getting used to those nails being trimmed sets them up for success later on. So it's kind of like a beginning grooming for them at this age. So this part of the curriculum is what we call the puppy pod stage. It is from week 0, so birth really, to 3 weeks. And our weeks kind of overlap a little bit because it depends on the days, and we're waiting for puppies to catch up. So a litter size of 6 is different than a litter size of 10, 11, 12. There's more puppies in the litter, and we need everybody to be eyes open. We need everybody at the same stage to move them forward. So in every litter, you always have early bloomers, you always have late bloomers. We need to make sure that all the late bloomers have a chance to catch up. The one biggest key to the whole program, and I like to be very, very upfront and strong about this, is that every puppy has a choice, every puppy has a voice, and everything that we do is tender and soft. It's about early exposures, it's about laying a foundation, it's about every week progression. So based upon the age of the puppy and what they mentally and physically can encounter and accept is what we introduce. But our program is very, very soft and gentle, and the results are really outstanding. Puppies just really flourish in it. And so I like to also kind of reference the puppy education a little bit like school, like children going to school. So you start them in preschool, you know, everything's soft and tender and gentle. And then you go to kindergarten, it's a little bit more requirements, a little bit more pressure put onto the children. And then first grade, you know, they learn to read, they learn to write, and the world starts to open up. And that's how our program is built. So we're very, very soft and tender about it. The puppies always have a choice. They always have a voice, but we are very attentive to the puppy that may be the quieter one in the batch, making sure that their exposure is still the same. So there's a little bit of reading the energy of the puppies, a little bit of making sure the exposures, if the toys introduced are a little too intense at that stage of the first part of the week, we pull that back, we bring it back out at the end of the week. It is amazing what that little bit of time, how much more they accept it. And so it's kind of interesting when you dial down puppy development. So technically from a breeder standpoint, you get 8 weeks. Really you get 6 weeks because the first 2 eyes and ears are still opening up. So we get 6 weeks to make an impression that will last a lifetime into their adulthood. And the really, really neat piece to that is that each stage is so instrumental. And that's Mama. Come here, lady. Come, Monty. Come here. Did you see something? Come on over. There you go. There you go. But that 6 weeks that we get to work with goes by so super fast. So super fast that I almost compare it to like infancy. You have a newborn baby, you get a year before they start crawling, before they start walking. You get a year. We get 6 weeks. So really a 5-day window, days, is like a turn in months. And it's really amazing how quickly they develop. And before the video, Joe was mentioning how he said that when he started working with the puppies at day 5, they were flailing all over, and he was actually questioning, like, why am I doing this? I'm sure is what you were thinking. Why am I doing this? And he said it was so amazing. By day 9, 10, the puppies started to relax a little bit, and you can see where at day 12, you saw how relaxed they were in our arms,
very relaxed.
and our hands. So I always like to make sure that even when I'm holding them on the back, that the head all the way to the rear, so all double hold, so the puppy never feels any sort of fear, that they always make sure that they are very supported. So this is a life, general life tip, but infants, there's only one fear that they're ever born with, and that is the fear of falling. That's the only fear they're born with. Okay. So as an infant, we wrap them really tight because we don't want their arms to flop, right? Because when their arms flop, that's the fear of falling, and they're gonna wake themselves up. So I don't know that this is truly a fact, but I believe that if infants are affected by that, so are puppies, and that's why they fight us. So I try to make sure that they're very supported when I hold them on their back so that everything is comfortable for them. So it's going to be really, really great to watch these puppies evolve and grow. Mama is phenomenal over here. This video isn't all about her puppies, but we're going to watch her. We're going to watch them grow and evolve, and we're going to see the progression. And then as weeks go on, we will bring out the toys that are involved. So you'll see what they are, why we use them. There's an entire theory behind it. And it's just really, really impressive how these puppies grow. The program is based on a service dog curriculum, so we are very, very structured on what we introduce and then how we mold and shape them. And so I like to say that Omega is the icing. We have to start with a good foundation, genetically laid by the parents, a good pairing on the genetic level, and then we take the puppies and introduce them to curriculum, and it's just amazing how they will grow and develop. So this is the first stage for Monty's puppies. We have in this litter, just because we have the puppies out here, we have 4 males, 2 females. So we will follow along here. We got a beautiful coloration here. They're all about the same size as far as weight. So I think we're 1.7 up to 2.12. So real close in age or in weights there. And so this next week, we will be very close to the 3-week margin. And so we will be starting their sound therapy. We'll be starting some soft toys. It's a really, really fun stage. It's actually one of my favorite stages. And that week 3 starts the next curriculum, the next phase in the curriculum. And I call it the core of their learning environment. So week 3 through week 6 is where the real learning takes place. 3 weeks to truly make an impression. So this has been an amazing afternoon. It's been great to be with Monty and her puppies, and Joe, of course. Also great to be with him as a partner alongside of Mini Golden Paradise, and we are super excited to see these puppies grow, develop. So stay tuned, follow back next week. It's going to be a great series. It's going to be very complete. It's going to be very educational and obviously fun to watch these little loves start to get their legs and start to grow. So thanks for watching today. We'll see you next time, everyone.
Thank you, guys.